Good morning. Good morning. And I'm so happy to be here and to share with you today. And I just want to invite you, if you're here live, to introduce yourself, tell me where you're from, and make sure you put your name in there because with StreamYard, a lot of times it just shows Facebook user or YouTube. It doesn't show who you are. And I would love to know who I'm talking to. And then if you watch the replay, please put hashtag replay in there so that I know you were able to take advantage of the message as well. And today I'm in Georgia, and so it's a little icy out there this morning, and that's kind of unusual for us. But we did have some rain, so we're not like a lot of places that have had so much snow and everything. But we do have some ice out there, and so I will not be going anywhere today or until at least it warms up a little bit. But actually, the temperature is supposed to be dropping a little bit during the day. So the ice is just going to get worse. And so I may just work on things, have a fire in the fireplace and just enjoy being inside and feeling so super grateful that I have the ability to do that. And this morning when I first got up and all I was going through and doing a few things, and one of my practices that I have in the morning, and I would invite you. Um, ah, all right. So, who are you? You're dreading it, and um, and I could guess who it is, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to offend somebody if it's somebody different. But oh, I'm grateful for the heat. But one of the things I thought that's who it was. Good morning, Stacy. But and you're south of me, I believe, because I know you're in Georgia. So I they believe you're south of me because when you post the temperatures and everything that you're having, I think, wait a minute, what temperature? Oh, because I am north of Atlanta, is where I am, about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic, north of Atlanta. And so I don't know how far south you are or anything like that. So you could share if you want to, because we live in the same state, but it's a good distance apart. Um, that would be fabulous. Yes. That's why I did post. You're 2 hours south of you. Okay. All right. That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I love going down to Savannah. That's about well, I haven't been to Savannah since I moved to this location here, so it's a little over 4 hours, I guess, for me to get to Savannah now. But maybe I'll stop by one day when I'm on my way to Savannah. By then you might be in Florida. Who knows? Because I know that's your goal, is to move to Florida. All right. So, what I was going to mention is that when I was doing my being grateful this morning, I was grateful, like Stacy. I was grateful for the heat in the house. But another thing that I was grateful for, one of the things that I was grateful for was I started getting my clothes, to put them in the basket to take them to the laundry room. And that's when all of a sudden I thought, well, wow, that's something really nice to be grateful for. I have a full functioning washer and dryer that are downstairs that I can go and use anytime I choose. And there was a time in my life that I didn't have that, and I had to go to a laundromat, which was such an ordeal. And because you're lugging all that stuff, you got to go in, you got to put all your coins in. It's like an adventure because you don't know what you're going to find while you're there. And I was also thinking, well, if I was in that place right now, I would just have a whole bunch of dirty clothes because I wouldn't be able to get to the laundromat. So we can find so many things to be grateful for if we look for them. And that's just one of the things that I love to do every day, because we can start looking at the things that aren't going right or the things that we'd like to change and forget all the blessings that we have. And so it's really, really important for your your mind and your heart, and to draw in things that you want, to focus on the blessings that you do have. All right, so let's get to the journal prompt. All right, so you're near Macon. All right, cool. All right, so let me, oh, I thought I had it up here, but I did not. So there we go. Let me get to what our prompt, our journal prompt, and our affirmation are for today. I'm going to have to create more of these because I'm getting close to the end of all the ones that I created. And the reason I don't ever know in the morning what they are is because I created all these journal prompts and affirmations quite a while back. I just created a whole bunch of them. And so they're in this folder. I just pull one out every day, and there we go. So hold on, let me get this put in here. All right. So our affirmation for today is, my obstacles are moving out of my way. My path is carved towards greatness. Breathe into that one for a minute. That one's a big one. I love it. I love it. And because like I was just talking, and it's so weird how all this works out, as I was talking about the things that we're blessed with. And so when I was referring to the time that I was doing the laundromat thing, and I could have, when I was doing that, I did look at that as an obstacle. But I did try to find some blessings in it, that I did have a place that I could go. And sometimes I met some nice people, and sometimes I had time to myself, and I would just sit and read. So there were some things that were good that I could find in it. And so if you have some obstacles, find the lessons that you have from it. Find out what it's trying to teach you, and know that it is moving out of your way. But the only way it will move out of your way is if you acknowledge what its gifts are. And that's how you get to my path is carved toward greatness. Because when you can find the gifts in anything that's going on, then how life can change. And everybody has an obstacle. There is nobody on this earth that doesn't have something that's in their way. And the seeds of greatness are carved in that, because we learn so much from the challenges that we face. Oh, perfect. So, and I'm just going to read this real quick, because once I get out of this StreamYard, all of these the things that people say, most of them disappear, or it seems that they disappear, because I can't seem to find them sometimes. And so it could just be a me thing. But it says, we focus on gratitude a lot in recovery. I'm always looking for the silver linings. I love when I look back and see how I overcame the obstacles afterwards. And it's all that phrase, hindsight's 2020. It's like, there's so many things that we cannot see the gifts of them until we've gotten through them. And so the best thing to do is, as an obstacle shows up, just recognizing that that's what's going to happen, and see what you can discover now as you're going through the obstacle. And it will make the obstacle feel less daunting, less, constricting in your body. Because when you're in an obstacle, there are times that it can really just knock you down. And then you can start going, I like to say, you're going down the rabbit hole of all the things that is proving is wrong in life. And because I've been there, I know that. And not to say that it doesn't happen to me now. When something goes what I perceive as wrong, then all of a sudden I can start diving into that rabbit hole of, well, this means this and this. And the beauty of doing all this work that we're doing with our affirmations and our journal prompts is that we may go down that little rabbit hole, but we don't stay there. We can get out quicker. Whereas in the past, when I went into one of those rabbit holes, man, I dug to China because it was like I could find a reason why everything was going to go bad. And we only know what we know, and we don't know what we don't know. So I'm here to maybe help to bridge that gap of between what you are doing and what you want to do. And so I'm hoping that with sharing all these things, I help you recognize the beauty of the life that you have, even though it may not be perfect, and the beauty of the things that you're going through, even though they may be hard. Because on the other side of that, holy smokes, will that feel so good? Because that's when, where did my little thing go? That's when you will realize this new path that you have is carved towards greatness. And the only way you get into that path is by going through the obstacles to get you there. So I kind of like to say it's like if you're on a journey, and we've all been on journeys where we start where we where we live, and we head out to go on vacation or go somewhere. And we may come to this place in the road where it says that there's a detour and we have to go another way. And it kind of feels uncomfortable because we know, hold on a second. We know that going straight is going to be so much easier, yet we take this detour because that's what it says. This road is closed. We take this detour. And on that detour, we end up going into an area that we didn't even know existed. And we see beautiful forests, or we see beautiful homes, or we see something that we've been going that direction so many times, but never taken this little outer path. And we didn't recognize all the beautiful things that would be over there. And so a lot of times our obstacles are there to just detour us into a place that will be delicious. It will be so amazing and it'll feel so good. And a lot of times those detours are the exact thing we need to become who we need to be able to be the person who has this amazing greatness on this other path. And so it's all a journey of growth. All right, so now let's look and see what the journal prompt is. And before I forget, I want to make sure I tell you that Terry may be on Facebook right now doing a live. I have no idea because Terry has agreed to do a live once a week, so that I don't have to get on here in the morning every day. But I love getting on here. But I will say I had written it on my calendar. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday that she was going to be going live. And when I re-put my calendar up, because I have an erase board calendar on my wall, and I keep track of things on there, and I have it on my phone and everything too. But for some reason, when I transferred everything onto my January calendar, I neglected to put on there what day Terry goes live. So I sent her a message this morning and she didn't respond. So I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe it's tomorrow. So I went ahead and went live. So just in case, you may get two amazing lives today, one from Terry and one from me, but maybe it's tomorrow. We'll just say maybe it's tomorrow. All right. So the journal prompt for today is, let me see. There we go. Envision overcoming a current obstacle and describe how it feels. So that's a really good one. So, like I said, we want to look at our obstacles as growth, and what is it teaching us? So pick one obstacle that you're going through right now. Just pick one. And if you want, one of the things you could do is maybe just write out every obstacle that you feel like you're facing right now. And sometimes it helps to get it out of your head and onto paper so that it's not constantly filtering through, right? It lowers the stress level a little bit. And if you'll take and brain dump as many as you have or many as you can think of, and then pick one that to work on. Or maybe it feels better to just pick one and not have all of them there. I don't know. But only you can decide what actually works better for you. And I will say sometimes, to me, writing them all out, like I said, helps me just get them out so that it's like I'm removing them from my mind when I put them on paper. But then there are times that having them all there in front of me would like make me feel more anxious. And so I would only want to put one. So only you can decide which one of those is going to be better for you. So just think about it. Do you want to put them all out and release them? Or does it feel better to just pick one? And do that. But like I've said before, back to the affirmation, I almost forgot. Make sure that you're writing them on your sticky notes or your index cards, or do like me and use a chalk marker and put them on your mirror. And then share it in the group, hashtag peachy vibes. And you will be so inspirational to others because you are actually helping them to realize the value, and maybe they will take your lead and they will post as well. Because I would love to see, a litany of pictures and in there of different people, utilizing the index cards or the sticky notes. And I know, Stacy, that you do that quite a lot, and I so appreciate you doing that. And I know, for me, when I do things like that, it makes me feel good to share. And so, thank you, Stacy, for sharing like you do. And there are a few other people that share out as well. And so, everybody that does, thank you, thank you, thank you, and continue to do that. So today, make sure you put your picture and your hashtag peachy vibes in there. And so I'm excited to see what all shows up. And then with the journal prompt, make sure that you're writing it out with your hand with a piece of paper. So it's whether you put it in a journal or whether you put it on a notebook paper and save that in a folder, whatever it works for you. But like I've said so many times, and I know some people who watch me all the time say, well, how many times do you have to say this? But there may be somebody new that's watching. And so I want to give that value to everyone. And so there's been studies that when you write things out with your hand, your brain reacts differently to it. So that you actually, like, even if you're taking notes about what somebody says, if you're writing it out, you retain the information. If you're doing your journal and you're writing it out, it's like your thoughts can flow so much easier when you're actually writing than if you're typing on a keyboard. It's just a different way that the connection goes. And so it's really, really beneficial and important to use all the tools that we have. And if a tool that we have is that all you have to do is write it instead of type it, man, that's an easy one. Let's do it. And so, and the thing too, I like is, like, I know Terry is one of the people in particular. I know there's some others, but Terry's the one that comes to mind. She has a couple of journals that she specifically uses for this right here, so that she can refer back to it later. And I like to say, if you don't have a journal, you don't have to go buy a journal. Use a notebook, use a piece of paper, create a folder if you need to, and keep all of these journal prompts and affirmations in there so that you can look back later. Just like Stacy said, that she likes to look back and see how she overcame obstacles. Well, when you write out your journal prompts and you work with that and you look back, you're going to be amazed at how much growth that you can see. All right. So that is my gift for you today. And I look forward to either Terry's going live tomorrow or I am, and I will find out for sure. But have a blessed day and thank you. Mwah.